and welcome to the kitchen sink. I know I haven't played the intros, but I will play the intros once my co-host is here. She is just running behind, and she is here. So I am going to press the intros. Let's go.
Welcome to the kitchen sink. We will chat, we will make you think. You will not want to go to the loo. You could miss a lot if you had that poo. Stay and watch and join in. Yeah.
Hello. Hi. I was here all the time. Hello, lovely. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. For brand new viewers of the kitchen sink, this is a comedy chat show with myself, Lucy Orchard, and her,
Sarah Bridgman.
Hey! It's a lovely show where you're coming along to our kitchen, and we're going to have a little chat, have a little catch up. Then we've got a little feature called Opinions. Then we're going to do our Wanda Sykes review. And then we are going to be talking to up-and-coming comedian Dani Johns. We're either going for massive names this year or ones that will not talk to us in 2 years' time.
2 weeks' time. Oh, my computer is echoing. Can you hear that?
If I take my headphones out, see if this changes.
How about that? Is that any better?
I don't know. Let me talk. Yes, it is much better.
For those of you that aren't down with the streaming, you're meant to wear headphones for a better sound. And yet recently, I've been following the rules and putting in my headphones in, and everyone's like, "Can you hear that?" It's me.
Yes, it is.
Ask me what I did yesterday. Ask me what I did.
What did you do yesterday? What did you do yesterday?
Oh, yeah. Me, thanks for asking. I was on BBC Devon.
Were you?
Yes, I was. Promoting the kitchen sink.
Woo! With DJ Rick Edwards, was it?
Edwards. Oh. Honestly, I got the message to, would you want to be on the show? And I responded with my phone number, and he rang and he said, well, how about tonight? And my head just went, yes, okay. And I thought, quickly, do one of your stupid videos in the truck that you like to do. And I did it, and I posted it out, and then I got, bing, you got my name wrong. What?
Yeah.
Sorry,
what? Well, you're trying to do 10 things. I'm trying to do 10 things at once here, Rick. Give me a break. I'm driving the truck.
I'm reversing the truck. I'm on the BBC tonight.
Screw you, Rick. No, though. Thank you. Thanks for having Lucy on. And that, thank you. So what was it like? I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. Was it good?
Can you believe it? I may have spoken too much.
No, I can't believe. Yes, absolutely. Of course you did. Did he tell you off for speaking too much?
No, but you could definitely hear. I could hear like.
No.
No,
Did he say? And now time for a break. And now and like, did he try to interrupt with a song like 5 times?
Well, I mean, look behind the curtain. What is it like being a media mogul, being on the radio? I went to the village car park to use my 3G, so I wasn't anywhere near my house's Wi-Fi because I wasn't going to have it mess up. That's how strongly I felt about it. Yeah. And because I was in the village car park on a Wednesday at 6, that's when the Pokemon raid hour is. So I thought, well, I've got time for a quick raid before the interview.
Oh,
so I sat in the car park, right, fighting a thunderous, doing this, and then the phone goes, and I'm like, yeah, hello, hi, Lucy speaking. I got it.
You need help, love. You need some support for your Pokemon. I feel very responsible because I'm the one that got you into Pokemon. Was it our first or second show?
Our first show on May the 14th.
Yeah. You're going to be like, you know, a wife going, you didn't buy me a card or a present, anything for our anniversary, you know, like a week later. It's like, what, eh? You know all the dates.
Or someone says, how long have you been recording together? And I'll be like, 13 months, 6 days.
I'm like, I don't know, last year sometime.
She's been wrong forever.
Feel like, no, it's been very nice. Cool. So you are
we got Hugh on the chat, and Hugh messaged the radio station.
Did he? Did he do a question?
No, but because I said I got his name wrong because I got excited and got Welsh, and then I changed it to Edwards to Evans. I thought I'll try and use the Welsh excuse for why I sort of Cymraeged his name. And then Hugh said, I was going to say plastic.
How do you say plastic?
Plastic.
Oh, get out. You need to get in the bin for that. It's plastic, man. Say bath. Oh.
Take a sip from my glass. Just from my glass. Hello, cheers.
Cheers. Oh, yes, cheers, everyone.
Happy Thursday.
TFI Thursday night. Let's just put it that way. One more day. Yes.
So how are you, my little buttercup? Have you been coaching with an inch of your follicles?
I certainly have. I certainly have, Ollie. Yes, very busy week this week. I spend my days chatting to people. I very much enjoy it. I coach people for all sorts of reasons. And yeah, so I've had 6 hours in front of the computer already. But I tell you what has got me through and made me very excited. Tomorrow I get to go to the hairdresser. Yeah!
Bam, bam, bam. This is when we need a klaxon. We need a klaxon for this.
I've got a horn somewhere, but yeah, I'm so very chuffed that I get to have this mop trimmed. Only trim mine because I am still growing it, and I've already written them the riot act while I rang them, and they were going, oh, who do you want to see? I'm like, I don't care. Are they qualified? Will they not cut 3 inches off my hair? I just want a trim. So, and I'm taking my life into my own hands because I'm having the trim at 4:30 p.m, which, if you are an experienced hairdresser goer, such as myself, I can recommend. Go in the morning, because in the morning, have the first appointment, or preferably second. The first one, because they're waking up a bit, and, you know, they're stretching their limbs. They're getting their scissor hands ready, aren't they? And then the second interview. Second appointment, they're primed, they're good to go, they're doing it perfectly, they are spot on, they're listening. When you say, please do not cut my hair too short, they go, I've got you. I'm listening. This afternoon, I am listening, I am taking it in. You have threatened me with death. Fair dues, you know where I live. Okay, half an inch okay? Yes, great, fantastic. By 2:30, 3:30, they're tired. They're looking out the window. They're like, I cannot wait for the day to. Yeah, having it. Yeah, all right.
What was that? Grade 4.
And before you know it, you're going out, with like a buzz cut, and you're like, I just wanted half an inch off at the most. I was trimming. So watch this space, because if I am crying next week, honestly, I never thought I'd be one of these people, right? I grew up going, it's only hair. Anyone who knows me will tell you I've had every single hairstyle under the sun. I've had mohawks. I've had it super short. I've had it shaved. This is the longest it's ever been. And that's only because about the last time I had it up to my chin, I went, I wonder what it'd be like to have super long hair. And that's why I'm growing it. The plan is to get it past my tits. And it's there.
There we go, boys. There's the weekly money shot. Everybody tune in.
Right, it needs to be there. We've got about 6 months worth, right? But they're going to cut like 6 months worth off my hair. So I am a bit nervous, but I'm like, and also I've got to be like on it and not tied as well. Otherwise I'll go and they go, what do you want? I'm like, I don't care, do what do you want? And then I come out and it's awful. And I'm like, ugh. So I have to say to myself, have a word with myself before I go, just a trim, just a trim, just a trim. half an inch, please. Tidy up. That's all. I am growing my fringe. I tell you what, men haven't got the half of it. Men just go in and go, yeah, you know, number 4 all over or whatever it is they say. And we've got all this to battle with. Anyway, so yes, very much looking forward to my haircut tomorrow. That's how I am.
Well, I mean, every week we've either got to have you have a slogan T-shirt or we need long hair, because if we don't get our weekly money shot, love, you know, we need the viewers.
Yeah. Can I just say, Dani, I should have kept this for opinion play, shouldn't I? Right, Dani says you just need a good relationship with your hairdresser, like I do. I just say, B, don't make me look like a dick, and no Bianca Jackson fringe, girlfriend. And I say, I would if my bastard hairdresser didn't go off on friggin' maternity leave every other bloody year. She's on maternity. She's taking a year off. I'm constantly it's so rude. I'm growing my hair. Can you not have kids for the next 10 years, please?
Your country needs you.
Absolutely. My follicles need you. Don't you know I do hair watch on Facebook? And also, I don't know, I gotta say, mind, what do you think? Because, right, my fringe is past my chin now, right? My fringe is I don't have a fringe. My fringe is pretty much, like, I've had long hair before, and that's like my fringe. But it feels a bit flat. Should I get a fringe or not? What do you think, everyone? Fringe or no fringe?
I'm not a big fan of encouraging the hair talk during the show, but sometimes you do reel me in, love. My hair is really, once it goes under a certain length, I just go out in an afro. So if I had a fringe like this, it would just do that.
My fringe would look like.
It would just do that. I wouldn't be able to have a fringe that didn't just sort of go outwards like Something About Mary.
Hang on, I have got a clip-on fringe here somewhere. Oh, here it is. The beautiful. Right, remember our guest, Will Hodgson? He's absolutely fantastic. Right, he owns a barbershop. He's a barber. If you're in the vicinity of Chippenham, when they're allowed to open, go. He's amazing. His beautiful wife is a hairdresser, and I went from Swansea all the way to Chippenham one day, and I was driving there going, what am I doing? For her to do my hair, and I got her to order me a fringe, and she did my fringe and everything, because I love, as you can tell, I love like 1950s, and the amount of people I've gone to get a friggin' 1950s Betty Page fringe, and it hasn't happened. So I've got a clip-in fringe, but shut up, this is awesome. Right, hang on. Right, I cannot get it to work, Sarah. Unless Sarah does it for me. Yeah. So it's like, oh man, but this is kind of what it would look. This is me 8 years ago when I cut my own fringe. I was very
right. We've had it in on the chat. Jeff Japes says no fringe. But I mean, Sarah, if you want to be a prop comic, keep the fringe.
How dare you? I've been every other kind of bloody comic. I might as well give prop comedy a go.
Oh, can you wear the fringe when you do your Street View song?
Street View map. Is it just me? I should update that, because it is like it's
Google Maps. Google Maps.
You're actually really handy.
I know we're moving on to the next section, but I want to say how impressed I was with a customer this week. Now, it's not often that these words come out of my mouth, but when you drive around Devon and Somerset, you get given postcodes to go to, but a postcode can take you to the middle of a field. Right. So you're sort of like you see like a big block of green like that, and there's a little arrow in the middle, and you're thinking, I don't think this is accurate. I think that I may need more information than this. So you think, I've got a mobile number. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ring the client. But if the client is in an area of no reception, you may as well write them a letter. So I Googled them, and they had the holiday address on it. And they had what 3 words? They had what 3 words on the website? Now, I don't know if you know what 3 words is, but some clever buggers, literally for every 3 meters square on this planet, have given it a 3-word location. So you put it into, so literally you put it into your phone and it will say what 3 words. So it'll say something like table, chair, orangutan, and that would get me to your sofa. And because they had that,
understand.
right?
I don't get what. So you put in your Google Maps, table, chair, sofa, and I get to go to your.
What 3 words, right? Where
Is that the name of an app?
Yeah, it's an app. And then I don't want to give my actual 3 words.
I don't understand. I'm gonna have to Google this. Thank you, David.
So
yes.
instead,
Sorry, go on. Yes.
So instead
I'm
of
concentrating.
So instead of having your postcode SA11PQ, and that would get to your street, what 3 words would get me to your desk?
To my desk?
Yeah.
What 3 words would get you to my desk?
Oh, for God's sake. People, getting involved in the chat.
£1 million.
If you are part of the 21st century, and you can, thank you very much, Dani. Yes, it's an app. Yes, it's recommended by the emergency services. And when I used to do big stadium tours, the address for the stadium might be 1 Stadium Road, but that doesn't necessarily mean where the trucks are going. So I got all the lead drivers to start using what 3 words, because that would get us to where the truck. It's just, I was pleased with it until I tried to explain it to you.
What is what 3 words? Don't learn shame me.
Sorry, hang on. This is a conversation between 2 qualified IT teachers.
I only do basic IT. We get to a certain point and then like
2 words.
1 word some days.
One
and that
word.
1 word is turn it off, turn it off, turn it on again. Right, here we go. What is what? Right, so everybody, let's all Google it together. What 3 words? But I still don't understand. How do you frigging get from A to B?
So you bring up the app and you type in chair, umbrella, frog, and it takes you right to the centimetre of where the location is. And then it says navigate via Google Maps. And it puts that into Google Maps and it will.
Hang on. Do you have to know, like, so in essence, a location has a nickname. You put the nickname in the app and the app goes, right, now I get you. I was getting confused because I was like, well, what? I've got to decide 3 words for a location. I don't
No. You don't name it. You don't name it. Some lovely, I'm assuming white, skinny men did it. Thank you, Dani.
Hopefully it was women as well, because I think women are better at being able to get from A to B anyway. Sorry, man. We have better.
Dani's in on it as well. She's like, you use the app like you would use Google initially. Brilliant. Yeah. And then, Melanie, love your work there. If you do a first aid course, you learn about it because you can give them your exact location. Need a first aid. It's brilliant. So
I haven't left the house in 6 months. But when I get to leave my town, I will use
I suppose your what 3 words for the last 6 months would be the same 3 words.
My 3 words is God help me. Right, this is where I went wrong. I tried to learn things without my glasses on. I'm much more intelligent now.
Boom, everybody, the temperature just went up.
These are my cheap £2 from B&M glasses.
Right, are we going to quickly move on to opinion?
Yes.
Yes. I'll run the video.
Right. Oh, yes. Run VT.
Run VT.
Opinion, please. Opinion, please. Say what you want. Get you in the face.
Opinion, please. Right, you go first because I've shot my load with my opinion about hair, but I have got other opinions. But would you like to go first, Lucy?
I've got a couple, but the first one, I know it's hack, but I have had to do a lot of online form filling in recently on different websites,
right?
And it needs to be a password thing. It's the 1 color, 1 verb, 1 character, 1 number, minimum of 27. It's when you know how much fun I had with Twitch when they ask you to get a password and you type it in and it goes, no, that's not complicated enough. It needs another 17 symbols, and you're just like, Every single website, this one has to be 8, this one has to be 9, this one has to have a capital, this one has to have a number, this one has to, and I've literally got a piece of paper with all the passwords written on it. Top of the list, there's passwords. So, I mean, how secure is that? Otherwise, I'm not getting back in on those websites.
No.
And it's the point, and I know this is a hack joke, but it's meant to keep other people out, not me.
Yes. Absolutely. God damn it. Do you feel glad that you have somewhere on the internet in order to express this opinion?
I know. Other than that, I'd just be on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean with passwords. Do you know what about all of my passwords? Like, because what I used to do, and as an IT teacher, I do not recommend this. That I'm not. Don't do this. Don't do
as we say, kids.
Don't do this. I had the same password for everything. And then hackers got into my Hotmail account and that was it. Everything was compromised. I'm like, oh, God damn it. And I had to change the password. I'm using Google, like, shall I suggest a really hard password for you? I'm like, yeah, go on then. And then for some reason, if I'm trying to get on through my phone, it doesn't recognize any of the passwords. If I try, I'm like, do you know what? Why do we need a password to get into anything that doesn't require my money? Why do I need a password to look around, I don't know, River Island or what's another fashion brand, boohoo.com? And I'm paying for something. Do we need a password just to look at stuff? I don't know.
Comedian Chris Ray from South Bend, Indiana does this amazing rant about, if somebody's trying to pay my medical bills, will you let them do it?
Yes, I would. Danny French says, our IT guy said you can't use rude words in your password. I proved them wrong.
Prove them wrong, girl. Prove them wrong.
You can, I would have thought, if you use, but does everyone use like letters and numbers? I use numbers to symbolize letters.
This is the next bit, right? As soon as you type it in, the letter disappears because they think someone's looking over your shoulder. But they forget about the person trying to remember what they've typed in because it has to be 12 characters with a combination of symbols and capitals. So you're like, all right, capital letter, da-da-da-da-da-da. Did I do that? Oh, no, I can't see it. It doesn't give you the option to show it. And then you just, like, it's go back, right? And then it goes, you've only got two attempts left. 2 attempts left.
And then you're like sweating like you've got the codes to the bloody nuclear bomb. And you're like, oh my God, if I don't do this, my computer's going to melt. And then if my bank, who is in charge of the tens of pounds that I have, are satisfied with 4 numbers, everybody else, have a chat with yourself. Yeah. What bank are you with that's only happy with 4 numbers? Because mine is like getting to bloody Fort Knox. Your bank card is more than 4 numbers. Oh, no, not my bank card, but getting onto my bank online. Oh, we've got 5 for online. They've gone up 1. they're like, Sandra, bring another number in. Make them work for their money. They want to see how little they got. Make them work for it. Yeah, I've got your numbers, right? Because they've added an extra layer of protection, But like you say, protection against, yeah, okay, online shit. But and also, like, I just want to get into my bank account. You've got to put in your number. You've got to put in your password. You've got to promise you're not there to do any, up to no good. You've got to solve a riddle. You've got to put in a key. It's just so much bloody stuff. And then you try paying someone money. Try doing that. Then you get a one-time password. Plus you've got like an essay to read where they're going, are you sure? Are you sure that you're giving money to someone you know? Is someone bothering you for money? Yes, it was my mum. She lent me a tenner. She's desperate to have it back. She is not a scammer. Let her have the money. I hear what you're saying, Sarah, but can you please click on the boxes that have bollards? Yeah. Yeah, it's like, is it a bollard? I don't know. It looks like it. I don't mind the bollards. The ones I don't like are the zebra crossings. I'm like, they all look like, everything's black and white. They all look like zebra crossings. I get fire hydrants and cycles. And I'm like, fire hydrants? How un-British is that? Yeah, fire hydrants. Screw you, we're British. And we
Yeah.
don't have safety gear on the road.
No, we have little things on the floor where you've got to take the cover off, for God's sake.
We on fires over here, and that's only if we've had 10 pints of lager. I'm quite enjoying having a good old rant today. It's not like that. It's all this pent-up emotion from last week. Good opinion there, Lucy. I totally agree.
Thanks,
Have we
Lois.
got time for another opinion? I have an opinion. Would you like to hear it?
Just the one. Oh, go on then.
Just the one. Just the one for now. I'm going to eat a grape first one in a moment. Okay, my opinion. Right, sit down, everyone. Sit down. This is going to shock you. Slimming clubs. Okay. Now, I rejoined Weight Watchers 3 weeks ago. Now, they're not called Weight Watchers anymore. They're called WW. And I rejoined because I was like, right, I've been doing the starch solution and not losing any weight. And I'm like, God damn it, there's so many YouTube people. They're all like, I just did the starch solution for 3 months and now I'm a skinny bitch. And I'm like, that's what I want. I just want to eat food normally. And I got to tell you, right, I rarely drink. I do eat a lot of sweets, but not often, not every day, maybe once a week, if that. And, you know, and I'm avoiding my mum's amazing cakes and stuff. But I eat really healthy on the whole. I should be skinny. So I had to join Weight Watchers again. I was really dreading it. But I have to say, it's totally changed. I'm not getting paid to say this. And I would recommend it. I know. I'm normally really against slimming clubs. But
I can't
it's
remember
really
if
good.
we talked about this on air or whether this was one of
No,
our after.
this
This was one of our
off air.
after conversations.
Off
All
air.
right, okay.
It was slightly crazy last week when you went, Sir, have you spoken to anyone in real life this week? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And I
Come on, Lev. Come on.
So yeah, and what I love about it, the main thing that I love about it is that you do an online meeting. So it's a Zoom meeting, right? It's no different to the real life meeting. If anyone has been to any slimming club, there are a number of cliches. Cliche number one is there will be someone that overshares. You know more about this woman's waterworks than you know about your own, all right? You know exactly what's going on in her family. You know if her husband's got piles. You know exactly why she hasn't stuck to the plan this week. You also know it's bullshit, Sandra. Everyone knows. You can easily eat if you have got getting the kitchen done. Just buy a salad. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's no different online, except that you're like this. First visit, the first person on the first visit, the guru goes, "Oh, nice everyone. I'm somewhere up north, right? And I love my coach. She's amazing, right? She's really good. Because you have coaches before and you go and you put on £2. They go, oh, never mind, try again, is it? And I'm like, oh, God, well, that's not going to help me stop eating cake, is it? She's really, really brilliant. She's great. And the very first person, she's like, how's things? And the first one's like, well, I've got a water infection. I'm like, I didn't need to know that. 9:30 on a Saturday morning. Your waterworks, Tanya. Keep it to yourself. But I kind of love it as well because it's that familiarity that you know that, okay, we're not in a cold school hall in the middle of winter. We are in our spare rooms watching each other this close to the screen. Oh, and last week, oh my God, scandal. Last week, went online to have the meeting and it was the 10 minutes, like they have 10 minutes bullshit at the top where people are just chatting. And I got in and everyone's talking about the royal family and how, you know, and oh, that Meghan Markle and all this. And I was just sat there going, oh, just wait for them to start talking about weight loss. And this woman piped up and went, I think this is very unprofessional and you should be talking about weight loss. I've come here to talk about weight loss, not about the royal family. And I was like, oh, you know, when you sat at the back going, oh, it's kicking off on Zoom. So I would recommend it. If you're feeling a bit lonely, a bit fed up, and you would like a bit of a chat, join Weight Watchers just for the socials. It's brilliant. And that is my opinion this week.
Okay, question. If you have a UTI and you have to drink cranberry juice, does that come out your points?
Isn't a UTI where you get done for drink driving?
That's a UDI.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess so. Juice is quite high. I tell you what, I like the Weight Watchers. I've got a popcorn bar. They're only £2, Dani, and they're brilliant. And I've lost
if you had to drink cranberry juice, is that coming out your points?
Yes. Do you want me to find out how many points is a cranberry? Have you got a water infection, Lucy? Do we need to get some cranberry juice for
Oh,
you?
I'm the queen of cystitis. I've
No
had it all.
way.
Yeah.
You're not even having sex.
No.
I don't mind if you're having a shitload of sex, because that's usually
Honestly, if I have even 5 minutes of stress, it's like, oh, I know, I'll pee some acid. So
I won't go into it. My dad
the little cystitis sachets, and I can knock them back almost. I could almost take the sachets dry. I'm that much of a pro now. Fun fact: every single cystitis sachet is made up near Barnstable in Chivenham. Fun fact: in Devon, doesn't matter where it's from. You look on the back where it says "made from." Doesn't matter if you go to Poundland, Tesco's, or Boots. Same factory. Just letting you know. Don't be wasting your money.
Cheers, babes.
No worries, love.
I'll tell you this, and then we've better go on with the review, I guess, is it? Although we've got time, it's only 7:30. Dani's going to be coming in soon. She's coming in about 7:45, so she might be, because we're going to do the comedy review first.
Yeah.
So, which is a bit. I'm just saying because it's a bit of a change for any regular listeners or watchers.
Keep
okay,
it fresh.
Keep it fresh. Moving it around. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Come on, BBC. You want to hire us to do first thing in the morning. Get me when I'm not tired. I'm good first thing in the morning. Right. Cranberry juice. Right. So I have 23 points a day. 23. Okay. You're much slimmer than me. You're much lighter. You're about 3 stone lighter than me, I think. Right. So I'm
10 stone. I'm 10 stone.
Right. I don't know how many points you'd have. You probably would have less points, but I don't know what that would be. Right. So a cranberry juice. I'm only telling you to get you a bit of context. Cranberry juice. Do you want to guess how many points a cranberry juice is? Bear in mind, just for context, for me, I try and plan 7 points for a meal. And most days I'm like, oh, I love it if it's only 3 or 4 points.
I'm gonna say, if you're saying that popcorn bar was 2, I'm gonna say 2 for cranberry juice. 2. Two's my offer.
2. Any higher, any lower? Does anybody want to join in the comments? Any higher, any lower? You live at Chivenham. DUI. Otherwise, is under driving. Like, no one's joining in. Have you checked your message, your thing on your? Right, Dani's going 4. Danny's going 4. So we got a 2. We got a 4.
John, Carl, George, or Jeff, you're watching. Any? I've got a lot of men.
Any takers? How many points?
Right.
Drum roll, please. The number of points in a glass of cranberry juice is 7.
Shut your face.
7. I can't do it. 7 points.
Yeah, that's just numbers. That's just numbers with your fingers. That's not the difficult bit. That's not the difficult bit.
Me too. 7 points. 7. I'm gutted about it. I know.
If you've got this, you can choose between eating or health.
Yes. WTAF, Dani. Yes, indeed. Eating or health. It's all the sugar, see, because there's no fibre in it. All fun. Come to that. Let's see if there's other products. You could eat just cranberries. That would be 0 if you just ate cranberries.
You want the cranberry juice. But they do an unsweetened version.
If you're going to shove them anywhere, shove them up your bag.
Hey, all right.
Oh, I take it all back. Hang on. Ocean Spray Cranberry Classic Light Juice Drink, which means they wave 1 cranberry over it, is 1 glass and is 1 point.
Hey! And you think, fucking hell, what's the point? Wow. All right. Well, I won't go into thrush and how much the natural yogurt would cost you.
Well, Greek 0% natural yogurt is 0 points. So you'd be okay.
I'd much rather thrush the cystitis then. No, that doesn't work.
And I don't think it counts if you're just spreading it on your nose.
It's got to be by mouth, is it?
Does it count if you... I'll ask on Saturday for you, Lucy. I'll be the first one.
For any other business, you'd be like, right, Tanya, question from the room.
Does it count if you have a job?
Lucy wants to know. And yes, she is a fucking comedian.
Oh, I did go to a place once, and they found out that I did comedy, and it wasn't like Slim. It was it's a local one. This guy runs it I won't say the name, right, because he's a bit scary. And he did this passive aggressive, oh, you're a comedian, are you? Oh, you're only coming here to get comedy. And I'm like, fuck off. I've been going to slimming clubs for donkey's years. But he'd seen my set, because I talk a lot about slimming clubs. And he was kind of really like, this is about my club and taking the mickey. And I was like, I'm really not. And then I just ran away. Scary, isn't it? Wrong lips, Lucy Orchard. Oh, trust me to bring the mood down.
Place your bets, please. Thanks, Edward Smith, for joining in.
I will place my best and my best.
And your bets. So yeah, I'm fascinated by this. Yeah. Oh.
So I will keep you posted. But I was chuffed because I lost £6 in the first week. No, £6.5. I lost £1, half a pound loss. No, I've lost £8 total. So I've lost about £8 total over 3 weeks.
Well, please be proud of your achievement, because this third lockdown, everyone, first of all, we did lockdown number 1. We were blitz spirits. We were waving our bloody brooms around, going, "We can do this." Second one, we were clapping on our doorstep. Second one, we were like, "All right, like, this is the last one now. This is the last one. This is the last one." And on the third one, everybody is like just Googling how to self-harm. It is ridiculous. It's everyone's got that.
This is fucking bullshit, mate.
They're just dead in the eyes, you know? I mean,
and everyone's any excuse. It's like, I mean, it's been a horrible week for women, a couple of weeks, hasn't it? But there were an awful lot. There's been so many protests, and I'm like, I could put online, let's protest, you know, that tomatoes have gone up in Tesco, and there'd be like 500 people out there because we just want to hang out together, go, tomatoes are terrible, you know.
Excuse me, what about cucumbers?
What is the point of a cucumber?
Not all tomatoes, Sarah.
Well, I can think of one very good reason to keep cucumbers over tomatoes.
How many points is that, though?
I could have 2 cucumbers and a 0 point. Oh my God. We are going to get so much mail over this. Mail.
M-A-L-E. Right, we're going to do we're going to have a quick wonder with Wanda, shall we?
Yes.
Right, I'm gonna roll VT.
Roll VT. We only love it for the cat.
I know.
Right, so this week it was my choice. Every week, if you're new to the show, we choose a stand-up special or a stand-up or a sitcom or anything, or, you know, just Piers Morgan rushing off GMB, anything we find hilarious and funny. It was funny. And what is even best, he's not coming back. Anyway, so we choose something and we take it in turns. It was my turn this week, and I chose Wanda Sykes' Not Normal, which you can find on Netflix. Lucy, what did you think?
Now, I love a bit of Wanda. I find her energy and presence, and even her appearance, really attractive. Just down to her voice, the energy she has. There's nothing I've seen her on where I've gone, "Oh, fuck, it's that Wonder Woman."
Wonder Woman.
But I am not a big fan of political comedy because I do the American online mics. I hear a lot of political comedy, and because it's not our politics, I sort of start going. I just start breathing out of it. But she started off with politics, and then she made it really accessible politics.
Yes.
So, and I was not like, you know, ignorant, you know, if it's not your country, you don't care. But it did start a little bit like I was like, oh, all right, okay. But then, and I uploaded the picture. I'm sure you're going to see that you saw the picture I uploaded, right? But she does this sketch about how little Donald Trump was respected by his aides and protection. And it was about, and I had to look, I literally Googled it just whilst it was just, I paused it and Googled it. So if I take the banner off, right? That is Donald Trump going up a staircase on Air Force One, and he had toilet paper on the back of his shoe, and
Yeah.
nobody said to him, mate, you got some paper on it. And she went on a little rant about there's a prison guard walking the inmate to the electric chair, and he's going, "Oh, you're a murderer, you're a paedophile, you're the scum of the earth. Hey, mate, you got some paper on you. You got some paper on your foot because we can't let you go out that way." And I was in fucking stitches watching that bit. That you do, and she's like, she's really good at physical comedy as well. She doesn't just stand there and pronounce her words. She's you're running down the airplane, down the airport, past 3 terminals, going, "Mate, you got toilet paper on your foot." And that for me, because it went straight in with the Obama, Donald Trump, and I just thought, I do love Wanda Sykes, but I'm not a big fan of the whole politics thing. And that's me as a comedian as well, because I'm a very lazy comedian. I don't want my gags to be perishable, and I have to do more work.
Did you think how it's 2 years old? It was 2019, so it's only 2 years old, and already super dated.
But that's literally because I'm fortunate enough to do a lot of online comedy with Americans, and they do a lot of political satire. So I am exposed to a lot of American political satire, and I just sort of start going,
What I liked about, because I watched it when it first came out and remembered loving it, and that's why I suggested it. And so I rewatched most of it today. I didn't watch the whole thing. I rewatched most of it. I think I'm missing about 10 minutes of it. And I looked up, because I wanted to see how many people were in the theatre and things like that, because I loved how the audience joins in, and there's a lot of loud clapping and whooping, and a lot of agreement. It was nominated for 2 Primetime Emmys, that show, and I remember at the time, it was obviously anything political gets dated within weeks, never mind years. But she was saying things like, he's racist, at a time when America wasn't really. I think that was an underground.
She got ahead of the trend on that.
Yeah, and she's like, he's racist, and the whole. We're at a time when it was 2 years ago. So at the time, we knew he was terrible with prostitutes. We knew he was a horrible, disgusting human being. We knew he was putting up the friggin' wall. People didn't want, but she was like, no, he's racist. That's racist. At a time when people were a bit like, I think it might be a little bit racist. You think, So I love that.
Politics dated, but her views on the racism and politics and the capital. That she was ahead of the curve on that one. That made me.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Was this filmed?
2 years ago, so 2019. Wow. So she would have been working it up throughout 2000. I don't know when in 2019, whether it was towards the end of the year, beginning of the year, but it would have been worked up. I would have thought a good few months before the show was filmed. I love that it's political and cultural, because if you're sat there going, she's rinsing Trump. Wait 10 minutes, and she makes a cultural comment, and it's the same sort of thing, and she makes it look so easy, because I've tried doing the, hey guys, isn't it terrible? I've done jokes about Cameron years ago, and I did one joke about Cameron, but that was mainly an over-the-top exaggeration joke. That's what made that laugh. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do, and she makes it look super easy. She's great with the act outs. And
can I then go on when she went on about her kids? I couldn't breathe when she was going surrounded by these white this white kid kicked her in the face.
And you imagine her whitest thing available. Yeah.
And then her wife comes in and goes, "Everything all right, sir?" And she's like, "He kicked me in the face with a balloon, but it was the knobbly. It was the knobbly bit. No, it's not for that."
Yeah. My favourite joke was about The Bachelor. It's the Bachelor's wrong. She's saying The Bachelor's wrong, and it's showing bad behaviour, and it's he gives them a rose, but actually he should be just hitting them on the head with his dick.
On the head with his dick. Or his dick.
His dick. Yeah, I think it's you know, if you're a fan of comedy and you're a comedy geek like we are, what an amazing act to watch, to go, right, okay, this is how it's done. She's been going since 1987. She's an amazing act. She clearly knows what she's doing. If you haven't considered watching Wanda Sykes Before and you're a comedian that wants to get on, bloody watch it. She's friggin' amazing. And I would suggest maybe watching some of her older stuff on YouTube, because I like some of her older stuff. I just love her style. She's like this auntie that she's like sitting down going, I'll tell you another thing. You know, it's brilliant. I love it. So yeah, thank you for allowing my review of Wanda Sykes. Thank you very much.
Right, we need to quickly over it, because I mean, I did 2 in a row, which we sort of broke the system. So that means you've got to do 2 in a row?
I get another one, because next week we've got our lovely Steve Spears. I can't believe we've got these amazing big names. We've got another fantastic name coming up right now, but Steve Spears next week. So he is going to listen to us review my favourite, this is going to be one of my top 3 favourite, no pressure, favourite stand-up sets. It's on Netflix again, and it is Bridget Christie, Stand Up For Her. Now, I saw this live in Edinburgh when it was a Bic for her, and it's been turned into, it's called Stand Up For Her, and it's on Netflix. So that's the review that we have for next week. So watch it, and then you can join in on the review. Not that anyone does. It's very rare anyone actually joins in, but we're still doing it.
I want to make sure I spell all of her names right, because I know a couple of Bridgets.
Bridgit, I think, and Christie.
Right, Stand Up For Her.
Spot the English teacher.
There we go.
I can't wait to get my hair cut. It feels a bit long now.
No, back on the hair. Come back to us. Come back to us. Do not get distracted by. She's gone off now, everyone. She's off. She's off.
Look at my t-shirt.
Yes, we can see you, pussy.
Thank you. That's what my cat looks like now, actually. I've got a new black and white cat. Looks exactly like it. Right. Are we done?
We're done.
We've got our guest is in the dining room.
Yes, it is. So what
nibbles have we got this week?
Right, because she's from Bristol, I got a bit like, so I went for some organic, free-range, fair trade tofu, and I made it into the shape of Ban the Bomb and freedom signs, and I also did. I basically got a big block of tofu, and I just painted some rainbow colours with food colouring on it as well. Yeah, I just wasn't quite sure what to do, because, like, you know, Bristol's a bit, you know,
it's a bit right on, isn't it?
It's a bit right on, yeah.
I saw that lovely spread, Lucy. Well done. Let's hope she likes tofu. I snuck in and did I did a bit of a cake in the shape of, I did some because we never have dessert, do we? So it's basically it's just, it looks like a slab of blue water, but it's because it's got a statue underneath the water.
So she basically got a choice of rainbow painted tofu slab or a slab of cake with what could be a choking hazard in the middle of it. Hope she's enjoyed it. Yeah.
Be careful, Dani. Don't eat the choking hazard.
Yeah, don't choke on the Colston.
So before we kill our guest, should we bring her through from the dining room into the kitchen? Please, everybody, welcome. Am I doing it or are you doing it?
I'll roll VT.
Oh, you roll VT. Well, Dani Johns! Hello, posh Bristolian that you are. How are you?
My love, I'm good. You two are cracking me up so much then, because like literally, I grew up like quite working class, quite down to earth, but I am a bit bougie. So like the tofu thing, that with a side of pot noodle would be a dream.
Fantastic.
I'm not joking. I actually just a cough is not a choke. Oh God!
Always the way. That'll be the choking hazard. That will be the Colston statue or chucked in.
Yeah, that's the Colston statue down the back of the Victorian slab.
Sorry about that.
I don't usually have much of a gag reflex.
That'll be my baking for you. It's lumpy. I don't have a
drop
tip for Sarah.
Professional star. Good thing no one's heard to be coughed on, right? It's just me and the dog, wherever she is.
Oh, like have we had a pet on yet? Oh, don't we've had a pet on the thing, have we?
She's usually in the window. I'll find her in a minute.
We are sadly bereft of animals. Normally, any kind of Zoom kind of meeting, it's not a meeting unless there's an animal bum involved. Normally a cat bum or cat tail. I saw a cat today. Oh, one of my clients. He was like, hello. I'm like, I need to see your pet. I might
need to see your pet. And I was like, oh, girl.
Yeah. Show me a pet.
Oh, she's gone. Should I see if I can get her, or is that weird?
No, go get it.
Go on.
Cat or a dog?
Tell.
Although we should make sure we have consent.
Cass.
Consent on this program.
No, she's like.
Was it Michelle? It was Michelle Wolf that talks about the Labradoodles. I'll just leave that one there.
Yeah.
No, I think she's camera shy. I have pimped her out on a few Zoom gigs recently, so I think she's had enough.
She's like, yeah.
Hey, you got to use what you got to use, love.
Yeah. She's got her sunglasses out. She's like, talk to my agent if you want to include me in anything. So, Dani, how are you? What have you been up to? Oh, hang on. Yeah. Oh, hello.
Hey.
Hello, Punch.
I'm a stage mom.
Hello, gorgeous. How are you? Hello. Hello. He does not look happy. Hello, gorgeous.
So, Dani, is that your Romanian dog?
It's my Romanian rescue. She's the best. She's like a complete lucky dip. Like, we literally have no idea what she is. We had a picture of her mum, but that was it. Her mum kind of looked like a border terrier, but they were just like found in the street in a box.
What? In Romania?
I mean, where specifically, I don't know. The only place I know in Romania is Transylvania. So I only called it
I don't suppose they came with 3 words location for it. Sarah, Dani is laughing because she knows what that app is. Do you know what 3 words?
Well, my friend, I did, but only because I googled it when you were talking about it earlier.
You face, Lucy.
Yeah.
I got the old start who doesn't know what it is. Why would you want to know what it is?
We had no idea. But I looked it up a minute ago, and I pooed myself because you had someone called Dani in the comments, and you said something like, "Oh, what's Dani up to? She's saying this," and I was like, "Oh, they heard me. I'm only talking to the dog."
How good is this technology?
It is funny. Oh dear.
So, Dani, last time we saw you, you were performing at Buffering, the online comedy show. Yeah. And I loved your set, by the way, which is why I remembered that your dog was from Romania. But I have to say, I love anybody that has gotten behind online comedy for a vehicle. I personally, I'm a big believer in it, and I love meeting another convert. So congratulations on not being stagnant.
No, do you know what? It got to the point where what was like in the summer. So when we could go back, and I did some live gigs, I was like, oh my god, like I don't remember, how I do things. So I was like, oh god, I better do some Zoom gigs. And then actually I did a few, and actually was a bit like, oh, it's weird. Some of them you feel like you're talking to yourself. So other ones you have the mic and camera on, and I love that. And so I've kept doing them ever since, because I feel like, one, it's nice to like keep it going, and also I've met some absolutely banging comedians who I'm totally going to book for other gigs and hopefully see around and everything. So yeah, it's been nice. It's been good. I'm a convert.
Yeah, and you ran the International Women's Day special that I was a part of on the actual International Women's Day, not like us like 4 days later going close enough. There was and it was brilliant. It was so good because there were, how many people attended? It was like 80 people in there, wasn't it? It sold out.
Yeah, we were at full capacity on what you could get in the Zoom room. So with the comedians included, there was 100 people there up to.
Wow.
Which was amazing. So we raised some lovely monies for 125, who are just awesome charity based in Bristol who work with really vulnerable women. So yeah, I wanted to find like a really good charity that matched up. You know, it had to be like International Women's Day plus hilarious women plus a fantastic charity. And I think it worked out in the end. You were brilliant. It was lovely to have you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Pardon, I didn't quite hear that. Pardon, what's that again?
You broke up slightly. Could you just say that clearer, slower, and like directly down the camera?
I'm pressing record. It was really good because everyone was amazing. There were a lot of acts on, wasn't there? Because you booked it to the hilt, but it was so good because we all did short sets. Yeah. And great for me as well. I was sat there going, oh my god, it was because I was on a bit later and I was getting more and more nervous because when other acts are fantastic, I'm like, come on, can someone please be a bit shit? They weren't. They were really good because, you know, secretly when you're gigging, you don't want to be the shit one on the night because somebody has to be, but has to be like the slightly worse one. So I don't know, maybe this is just me and my being, I don't know, competitive, my accidental competitiveness coming out.
No, like, I don't know what you mean. But everybody was genuinely brilliant, wasn't it? Like, I, like, people who got in touch and I confirmed the lineup, every single person, I was like, I genuinely love you. And like, well, not love you like in a weird way, not like, you know, I'm not using 3 words to find your house or anything.
I have to give my house the nickname.
Ding dong, ding dong. But like, I love you as a comedian. You've made me laugh in real life or online. So I was just so chuffed to have everyone, and literally every woman smashed it. And some of the acts were like a lot newer, and some of them were really experienced. So yeah, that was why I did it short, because I was like, they're all cracking. Like, they all need, they would have the same chance to be badass bitches.
Yes, and we were, and it was so much fun. But tell us a bit more about, so where did you come? Because I've met you before at Funny Women, which is like a monthly night that happens in Bristol where we all meet up. The fantastic Louise Lee that we've had on the show a couple of times tends to run it. And we'll all learn something. We'll learn something new. And it's so inclusive and supportive. And then we have a break, and then we have like an open mic where everyone does 5 minutes, and it's so much fun. It's brilliant. And first time I went, I walked in and went, I can't believe, because I'm from Wales, I put stuff on to try and encourage more women to do comedy, and now thankfully there are a lot more women that do comedy locally, but there's shed loads in Bristol. It's so good, and you walk in and go, oh my god, this is amazing. So that's how I know you. I know I've seen you there.
Yeah.
So tell us about your comedy career. When did you start? How did you tell us all about it?
Oh wow, I only went and bloody started at Funny Women, didn't I?
Brilliant. How long ago was that?
Well, does 2020 count as a year? Because I kind of don't want it to count, because if it doesn't count, then I've been going a year and I sound like I've achieved much more than I have.
That's amazing.
By date, I started in February 2019, and it was just like, I've always loved comedy. I've always been quite dramatic and a bit sassy, and it was always something I wanted to do, and I just never had like any idea how to do it. And I started a new job like a couple of months before then, and we were at the Christmas party, and my new manager, I think I was trying to tell him about RuPaul's Drag Race, and he was just cracking up at me. He was like, the way you describe things are so bizarre and funny, like you're almost like a comedian. And I was like a bit drunk, and I was like, you know what, I've always wanted to be a bloody comedian. Maybe this should be my New Year's resolution. Anyway, went to like work after in January, and he was like, you should do that then. And I suddenly felt a bit like, do you know, I've never followed through on a resolution, and I'm trying to be cool, so I'm gonna do it. And yeah, I went and I watched the first Funny Women in January, and I just watched in awe of like everybody who was amazing. And then I was like, right, coming in back in February, and I'm doing my thing. And that was the first one.
Oh,
Wow.
and then a month later, everything went online. No, that was what, February 2019 then, was it? Beginning of not be brilliant. Because I was like, I'm sure I've seen you more often than just once. But yeah, I started going, I think, towards the end of 2019. I think I did one in November, and then I think it was January or February, because I couldn't go to everyone because Bristol from Swansea, it's a good 2 hours. Well, hour and a half, but don't tell the police.
Depends what
Traffic. Yeah. So what's been your favourite thing about doing comedy so far?
Oh God, embarrassing my family.
Yeah.
I'm such literally, I'm such an oversharer, and like I've got to that point now, I've been going back 2 years, I'm trying to be like step it up a bit, I'm trying to think like, how do you actually write a joke, because I mostly just I think of something ridiculous that I've done or has happened to me, and I tell a bit of a story around it. So I usually end up doing that, and then either ringing my mum, my nan, or my boyfriend and being like, is it okay if I tell everyone you did this? Like, they're the best sports ever, so they're always just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So I've gone off track. I've started like smushing about my family now. What was the question? What was my favourite?
What's your favourite? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was it. Embarrassing the family. I just sound bad, but just like the actually doing it, like, I just feel cool, and it's nice to have people listen to you, and like the feeling of making people laugh is just amazing. I've always been that person who's like, there was a party or a hen do or whatever, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll show you how to dance to Christina Aguilera's Dirty. Woo!
Yeah.
I'm just bizarre and dramatic. So I love that aspect of it, and also generally meeting so many people who are really cool, and especially women who are so funny, and being like, I love comedy all my life, and been like, hardly ever seen any women on stage, so seeing them in real life in such like numbers is just incredible, and I really do like appreciate that aspect of it.
Yeah, I really hope that in my lifetime that it's just, in Wales, I think we're pretty lucky in like the semi-pro gigs, so the promoters that I know, they do their damnedest to at least get, have it equal, or even, we don't see it as much. I don't think we're not like, it's not, I do find it frustrating just looking at like the all male lineups, and not even just male, but the all white male lineups, and I'm like, come on, there are more of us out there.
There is a gig being promoted at the moment that's all over Facebook. They've paid for the Facebook ads, and it's got 8 acts, and it's got 7 white men and a woman.
Oh,
and
that one woman will be in the middle somewhere.
And the thing is, I've seen them do this similar thing before. Like, do you remember the mini lift-up lockdown in October we had? The little mini, COVID's gone, oh, no, it's not, moment. And they had an all-male lineup. And somebody went on there and went, nice array of men there. And the promoter told them to go fuck themselves, called them a Karen, and said, we have asked female acts. We've asked acts, as in they must have rung the one. Catherine Ryan, are you free? No? Right, okay. K-Dog was busy that night.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, that's lovely to see an audience member say any more female representation, and the promoter told them to go fuck themselves. We've arrived!
Yeah. It is so frustrating.
It's so frustrating, but also, I last year, so in the little Adobe reminder to update. No thanks, that's terrible.
Not now, Adobe.
What now?
I was like, Lucy 2 weeks ago. No.
Listen, my life is very good this week.
I know.
That'd be a good reason to get out of it, though, wouldn't it? Oh, I've had enough of this chat. Oh, my computer's updating. Bye. Like computer noises.
The women in lineups, though, like you're so right, because in like the little mini, summer we were allowed to go out again. I started hosting Smoke and Mirrors, which I share with Jessie Nixon, who is also another hilarious Bristolian girl.
Yes.
This is the thing. Right, here's a question for you guys and guys. I say girl all the time, just as like endearment. Are you cool with that? Because some people have been like, I'm not a girl, I'm a woman. And I'm like, well, but I say like babe, mate, girl, chick, all of it. Like, I don't really mean it in any other kind of way.
I think context is everything. I think if you're telling me off when you say girl, I'm like, no, thank you. But in that I keep calling people guys and I hate it. I'm like, no, I'm trying to be gender neutral, but it's ingrained. I do my damnedest. So yeah, if it's in that context, I don't have a problem with it. Lucy?
I like, we call ourselves the Sync Girls. That's our Twitter handle, and we like that. We like that because we've said it. And then I think Katie is still watching, but my mate Katie, that also drives a truck, she'll always be like, "Hey, girl," and it's just like, "Oh, okay, hey, girl." But when I do a reverse and the farmer says, "Good girl," I want to throat punch him.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Good. Just checking because I was like, hey girl.
Context. It is context. If it's like, hey girl, that's fine. But if it's hey girl.
Yes.
Screw you.
Like, hey chick.
Yeah. Yes. My
fellow funny girl, Jessie. She won't care. She loves me. She's my comedy wife. I love her. Yeah. So we have Smoke and Mirrors, right? So we started doing that last year. We took it over, booking it and sharing the hosting. And I can say, as now I book a gig, that there are plenty of women out there. Now, there's not as many, that is for sure. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I get 50% messages and emails, because I absolutely don't. But there is so many.
There's more than one.
Way more than one. And actually, the thing that's been really good this week is we're not, obviously we can't open for a little while yet, but what we've done is we've done a shout out and we've said everybody who's interested, drop us an email. We've made a gorgeous spreadsheet. Love it. OCD ain't all over it.
Am I on it? Did I send it? I'm sure I did.
Did I? I think I did. Did I?
Oh, Lucy, did you did? Ooh,
Lucy, get your ass into gear.
It's a bunch
I know that I saved it in my favourites, but whether or not I went as far as filling the fucking thing out.
Okay, we'll do it. There's loads of time. But like, the amazing thing is because we've like gotten there so early, we can now, when we come to booking it, look through and be like, cool, there's like 30 women here who want a spot. Let's put them in all the dates because there's no need to. It's not like we're going, oh God, I need someone tomorrow. We're like, this only blokes are available. Get in there. They're around. Basically, they're around and book them.
Yeah.
Running.
Yes.
Shit, mate. So funny.
I think we need to think a little bit. We have to be aware that some women have caring responsibilities, so maybe give a bit of notice. There was, I won't say the name, I don't know if he's still doing it, but there was a promoter down in Devon or down Lucy's way, and he was all over the place. He was all over that area. He had quite a few gigs, and he would contact me on the Saturday at about 5 p.m. when it takes like 3 hours to get to your area and say, can you do tonight? And I'd be like, no, I can't, because I'm literally I either had another gig or I was, I can do it. I can get there for 10 p.m. Is that okay? Do you know what I mean? And you're like, have a little bit of forethought, I don't mind filling in like last minute. If somebody, if I could do it, absolutely. I'm happy to jump in a car and go and get there. But give us half a chance, mate, and that would be like, oh, I'm going to spend 50 quid's worth of petrol for like a tenner. And I will do that if it's a good opportunity. But this guy had seen me a number of times. He knows I can do the job. Why not book me in? Give me some frigging notice. Give me a couple of months notice booked in, or a month's notice, or even a frigging week's notice, for God's sake. 2 days, any kind of notice. And I'm lucky because the only caring responsibility I have is for my cat. And generally I can get my dad to come and feed it if I'm out of the house for more than 12 hours. So, but there's women out there that have children, and if men are promoting, they need to bear that in mind, I think, and just, give us a bit of notice. And I think for our part as well, women, I know it's only open mic. Everyone will cancel. It drove me insane. That's why I don't want to do a frigging open mic anymore. It's different if gigs are professional But so many bloody open micers are like, oh, it's only an open mic, I'm not going to bother going tonight. And I'm like, well, actually, yeah, it might only be an open mic, but I know all the pro promoters, and I'm the one going, they come to me and go, oh, do you think it's new? And this person's asked for a step, what do you think? And if you keep cancelling all the time, that's the feedback I'm going to give. But I do think, I think it's shit, but we have to work harder, because we have to be better to be, seen as even equal to the shittest white man talking about his dick and his wife that he hates. We've got to be so much better than that. We just got to smash it every time. It's shit, but that is, unconscious bias for you. And I have had so many frigging guys look me in the face and go, I don't understand. I don't think it is sexist, Sarah, because look at how many women there are on this one woman on a gig. So what makes you think it's sexist? And I'm like, have you looked at the Comedy Store lineup lately? Have you looked at how many women are in over 10 weeks worth of acts? 40 acts, 3 of them are women. Anyway, I'll stop there before my eyes roll in the back of my head, but it's getting better. But oh god, I can't wait for it to get.
So right, there's literally 50%. Like if you Google how many women are in the UK, it's like pretty much 50-50. And maybe not as many women feel I don't know, welcome in comedy. Maybe not as many women have that same interest. I don't know, but there's enough. And I think you're so right when you say the need to work harder is there, because quite often there is only one girl or woman on the lineup. And so if for some reason she doesn't do 100%, if something doesn't quite land, if she, I don't know, just whatever, that audience that night isn't quite her cup of tea, they all go home like, that woman was shit, women are shit. Whereas if they see a man not do well, they'll be like, oh, John wasn't that funny. But when it's, us, it's not, oh, Dani didn't do it tonight. It was like, women aren't funny. Did you see that girl?
Yeah.
And it's that, isn't it? And that's why you have to have more. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I should play the opinion place VT.
Yeah, it's just so if any men are watching, this is why we start going. Yeah.
This is completely unprofessional to say, but Sarah knows what I'm like. Whenever we have a male guest on, I do occasionally slip not a dig, but I do address
every time
the sausage imbalance.
Not okay.
The sausage imbalance. I do
every time.
If they're going to come on a show and talk about the nights they put on, I think they open themselves up to a little bit of questioning. Yeah, and so far, it's only Robin Morgan that's gone, yep. Everyone else has gone, whoa,
yeah.
Hey! Robin Morgan was like, yeah. Robin is just like, the two of us were like that. Oh, you're so tall.
We love you, Robin.
Yeah, so funny and such a lovely human. But no, you're totally right. I think it's good. I think we should be able to say these things and question people like that, because it's not coming from a nasty place, and it's not meant to belittle you or shit on your gig or anything. It's just hey, this is a conversation that we should be having. And I do feel like there's plenty of bookers out there and promoters and male comedians who are like, yeah, shit, you are right. What can we do? And you can have that.
I think if I'm allowed to go to you and say, you just put that can in the black bag, you need to put the can in the recycling box for the cans. If I can say that to you, I should be able to say, that's a lot of penis on your lineup.
Yeah. And I think as well, we're allowed to say as well, oh, I've noticed. Hey, I've just noticed, out of the last 10 lineups, you've had 3 women. Any chance you can up the ratio? Out of the last 40 acts, 3 of them were women. Could there be a bit of unconscious bias there without aggressive recrimination? Because there is one quite well-known night, and I don't want to pee on my chips by saying who they are. But and I'm really private chat.
Get on the private chat, sis. Stop using pronouns.
It's not in Wales.
Come in closer.
Not in Wales. Yes, babe.
We won't tell anyone, will we, Dani?
They've done really well for themselves. They going from strength to strength as a club. All right. They've now got a purpose-built comedy thing. They are all over YouTube. They have a YouTube channel, so anyone that knows comedy will know who I'm talking about. Okay, have a little tipping back, tiny little look on their YouTube channel, and just count how many women are on there. There are women.
Yeah.
It's like reams of men on there. And I'm like thinking, is there a little bit of the old unconscious bias there? And it's a shame because, there's a guy there that he is a regular MC. He's made his name. He's earning a shitload of money just because he's MC'd this club. He's even, doing a tour locally because of how well he's done at this club. He doesn't even have to, he's been on Comedian podcast. He doesn't even have to he's doing it for himself. And I'm like, good on you. Brilliant. Why don't you ever book women though? What's going on there? And then they'll book the women, and the women are like in the mid. They're like, middle of the set, because that's the women's section. And as you go on and you notice these things, it drives you insane. It drives you absolutely insane because it's like, and then you have there are some amazing acts that book women as well. Ignacio Lopez always does his absolute damnedest, 50-50, if not more so. He's so
Luke Conrati.
Yeah. Fantastic. Good on you. We should do a Fantastic Men in Comedy awards, shouldn't we?
Yeah, because I find that men just don't get enough promotions there.
The good guys don't. Chris D'Elia, anybody? Right.
We're too old for that show.
Yeah. About a good 40 years. Anyway, sorry. Dani.
Right, I'm going to tear us away from the feminism rant because I mean we're talking to the converted here, and anybody that watches this show, quite frankly, they're on our side. They're allies.
Yeah.
Go on then, Sarah. Go on. One last thing. Go on.
We love you. Thank you for watching. If you still watch, if you're like, they got off on one. Maybe I'll tune in again next week. Right. Okay.
This is for pants, not bra burning.
Right,
Dani. Sorry, go on, Lucy. I was going to say, Dani, question in a bit though.
You get given 2 tickets, all right, to go to two shows, right, of your favorite comedians still alive, currently performing. What 2 shows are you going to go to?
Oh, that's a good question. That's evil. Evil.
I
know.
I'm not, because it's really difficult to pick your favourite. So I'm giving you a choice of 2. And that could be a local comedian or it could be a world famous comedian, but they got to be alive. For logistics.
Okay, it must be like strictly comedian, not like a comedy. Okay, so I'll give you my first one. Because I have a second person who I am obsessed with, but she's definitely more of a comedy actor than a comedian. But I would actually cry if I met her in real life. She's number 2. Number 1, Angela Barnes. Absolutely love her. Did a charity gig with her one time.
Yes.
Takeaway curry with her one time. At the end of the group photo, and I was literally like, "Where's Angela?"
I love you, Angela.
I'd love to see her again. And then like my sort of like comedy hero, although she's not a comedian, who I'm obsessed with, is Kathy Burke. I bloody love her beyond belief. So if there was any kind of show, I mean, literally, if she was like crossing the road and I got to watch her, I would go. Like, I love her so much.
Yeah, I love her too. I follow her on Twitter. I haven't seen her on Twitter. I don't know if the Twitter algorithm is going, no, you do not deserve a Kathy Burke tweet at the moment. I haven't seen her on Twitter much lately, so I don't know if she often will have a Twitter break.
I don't want to be a complete stalker, but I do believe she gave up Twitter for Lent.
No! Like, haven't we suffered enough?
I don't know if you know that I do these online begging videos. Please come on the show. And Kathy Burke was number 1. It was the first video I sent.
If I met her, when I meet her, it's gonna one day.
Manifest destiny.
You're gonna smell her hair, aren't you?
Like, let me just like cuddle, yes, sexy cuddly bitch. Like, I literally rewatched Kathy Burke's All Women the other night, and she just cracked me up because she was like, "Why would I be a good mother? Because I've got nice big cuddly tits." And I just put that in my head now. I don't even have big cuddly tits, so I can't say it.
And the only reason why I haven't done a begging video to Angela Barnes is her throat's hurting so much she can't speak, because I follow her on Twitter so stringently. So I'm just like, there's no point saying I'm a big fan, come on the talk show, if she's like, if you were a fan, you would know I can't fucking talk.
Yeah. Also, I keep having to, but you know, screw up my courage to ask people. Like, there are people that I know that I don't know, but have, you know, they've asked me to do gigs for them, and I've done gigs for them, and I'm like, I keep saying to Lucy, should I ask this person? She's like, yes, just ask them. But I'm like a bit shy, so I will do it. I will ask. What's the worst that can happen? Just say no.
Just do it. I've done a couple of messages like that this week for like Smoke and Mirrors. Some people have said nice things on comments, and I've been like, oh, I know you're like quite a big comedian, and this is like, you know, a little new material night in Bristol, but I just messaged them and been like, might not be your thing, but I think you're ace, so if you did want to do it, I'd be really chuffed, but don't feel obliged.
Exactly. Because they're not telepathic, Dani. They don't know that you want them to appear or attend, and the only way they're going to know is if you ask them. And I really, I started in February 2020, so I'm half your tenure. And I'm loving every time we have a guest on the show. I learn from something, like something they say, it sticks in the back of it's like being a cheap ass comedy student, where instead of paying to go on a course, we just trick them onto the sink, and I learn that way. And Sinette Stevens is always like, don't put yourself down, don't put yourself in a box. Are you being present, and where are you going? So, you know, it's not that you have a little comedy night, you've got a fucking comedy night. Fuck yeah.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? And if you, I just feel like, you know, if you make it really fun, and say exactly the same for you guys, you've created a really fun atmosphere, and it's lovely. Like, people don't want to do it. Like, they might be like, yeah, do you know what, actually, I am free that night. And you know, you've impressed me by reaching out, and I've heard your thing's nice. So yeah, why not?
I'm gonna do it, and I will feedback in a month, because I'll be scared.
I've stopped tagging Sarah in my begging videos, so she doesn't see who I ask. In the last day, I've asked Sally Phillips, Doon. I can never say her surname. Doon Mc.
Oh, I love her.
And I sent one to Tiffany Haddish.
Mate, go for it. Stars, girl, like, fuck it, just go for it, because why not? And you know what, I know we've taken off the feminist hat, but it's attached, it's on a string, it's one of those like bat ball things
grafted to my forehead.
But I remember reading this thing ages ago, and it said something like, when it comes to job applications, the average, not all men, the average man will apply for a job if he wants it, if he meets like 50-60% of the criteria. But the average woman will only do it if she's like 100% qualified for that job. Yeah. So do it. Like, you don't have to be like, you know, 100% this is an excellent fit for you and you're going to benefit from being on here. But you could be like, hey, why not? Go for it. Yeah. So,
it's a numbers game. Like, I have asked a couple of people that have point blank ignored.
Hey, Miss Haddish, I've looked it up. You're in Pacific time, which actually means it's about 1:45, so it'd be a lunchtime chat.
Oh, yes, see, that's brilliant. Fair play.
Honest to God. Did you see she won a Grammy this week for her album?
No. Did you see the video? Did you see the video? Oh, she does a show. Is it like Out of the Mouth of Kids? One of those shows where they get kids to do the answers. And she's standing. Yeah. And so she's got her little earpiece in, and the people in the recording, the you know, the Gubbins people, the VT people, they were saying, you know, please say this, please say that, and then they went, you've just won a Grammy, and she was like, what?
And you can see her doing her damnedest not to swear as well.
She starts welling up in front of these little kids, and these kids are like, oh, that's so amazing, this a dish? And she's like,
And she's going, you can do anything.
last time a black woman won this was Whoopi Goldberg in 1986.
It's about time.
About
It's not
fucking
like the
time.
world is short of black female
Yeah, incredibly talented.
fucking out of this world acts as well. Bloody
Oh yeah, I
amazing.
messaged Gina Yashara this morning.
Oh, Lucy, just tell me when I need to know. You know, I'll be like, what? I saw
I
Lucy.
don't tag her in.
Don't forget London.
She tagged me in for Jenny Eclair, and I saw her. I went, oh Jesus Christ, Lucy, this woman is not going to say yes. And then she said yes, and I had to eat my words. And Lucy's like, nah, screw you. I'm like, oh God damn it. She's all right.
So,
Dani, back to you.
If you had somebody get in touch with you and say, can I do 10 minutes? And they're a really, really big name. Are you quite like, oh yeah, I can message you? Or do you like lose your shit?
Well, first of all, I'd be like, why do they want 10 minutes? Why don't they want to like do you mean for like my gig for Smoke and Mirrors?
Yeah.
So first of all, I'd be like, do you want a headline? No.
Slap at your face on the poster.
And then I think I would be like, hi Angela. Lovely to hear from you. I'm metaphor. What's the word? Metaphor. I'm imagining positive reinforcement.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And I think it'd be pretty cool, but inside I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'd be so excited. The dog would be like, Mother, what's happened? And I'd be like,
Yeah.
I spotted my kick. That's what's happened. But I can be quite composed because my day job is like quite serious and logistical. So I'm very good at like the booking and the emails and the following up and the money talks. That's a lot of what I do at work anyway.
Oh, yeah. Can I ask you a question? Right. So every week we have, he's not here, he's in work, but we have a regular, huge, I forgot his name.
Right, his name is Hugh Janus, but Sarah, queen of the puns, every week says he is Huge Anus. She never gets it.
Is that his real name or is that his band's name? Because I've seen him in the comments before as well.
Yeah.
He's a band. He's a band.
Lovely guy. Hello, Huge. And I feel awful because last week we didn't get around to asking the Jenny Eclair question. I'm sorry, Hugh. I'm surprised he's still talking to me, so thank you. And this week, so if you've seen it before, you've seen the questions, you know you might be a little bit like, oh, maybe I need to move because clearly someone knows a bit too much about me. So the question is, but he's harmless. I hope, you know. I have been watching a lot of
he's our biggest
fan. Anyway. Right, so the question this week this is Hugh's question. Hi, Dani. This is a two-part question. Would you put Darcy Coates in your top 10 of horror authors? And does your mum really still put out Foster's and Monster Munch for Santa? Please don't get freaked out.
Oh, he's good. Oh, he's good.
He's been on my Twitter.
You know they aren't secret accounts, right? You know if you put shit on your Twitter, people can read them.
This is my bookshelf, as you can see. Oh mate, what was the question? Darcy Coates and my mum's Foster's.
Yeah.
I'm so thrown off by that. Is she still my favourite writer? Yeah, I absolutely rate her. She's an Aussie horror writer. I'm not sure how well known she is. I found her randomly on Kindle Library and I've been binging her all through lockdown. She's ace. If you like horror, defo check her out. And yeah, Foster's like 100%. My mum, we always growing up, I had to put a can of Foster's and then it kind of depended what we had. It might have been a mince pie, but if we didn't have any, it might have been like a packet of Monster Munch. Because that's what my Santa wanted. That's so funny.
Did Santa send you a letter before Christmas? So you're asking for all the different bits and pieces on your list, and let Santa go in 20 Regal, Foster's, Monster Munch.
I imagine at some point I must have been like, you know, Irma, she put some milk and cookies out, and she was like, "No, fuck that. Santa ain't drinking no milk at like midnight."
He's on a bender band, mate. I don't know why she's Cockney. I don't know why I made him Cockney. Yeah, it makes sense to me. By the time they get to Bristol, he's going to be pig sick of mince pies and brandy, isn't he?
Well, I have a bit of Bristolian flavour. That's all I can say. Keeps you going. Gives you gas, but it's a that is so funny.
Keep it real.
Oh, my mum would be proud.
So, yeah, I'm just really conscious of time. It's 8:30. We've had you for 45 minutes. Thank you so much.
Oh, this has been so fun.
You will remember us. Will remember us when you're big and famous, won't you, please?
Oh, shucks. Stop it. Making me embarrassed. And I'm very shy and reserved.
Hey,
well, anyone watching this, Dani is at a meet. Oh, yeah. Don't turn down compliments. Lucy will find you and murder you in your sleep.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys have got such a good chat show here. I love it, and I've enjoyed watching previous episodes. Hopefully I'll see you in real life. I say soon. My long lockdown is left. I don't know, but yeah, I'll do sometime for sure.
I can't wait. I love Smoke and Mirrors. I've been on that stage once, and I can't wait to go back. It's such a great gig. Thank you so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. We love you, Dani.
Can I just add, Dani Johns, if you put Dani Johns Comedy, I believe that's your Facebook page. And it's Dani Johns is your Twitter handle. Is that correct as well?
That's totally right. Yeah, and then everything, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram is at It's Dani Johns.
Marvellous. And can I ask, do you have anybody that you would possibly recommend to be a visitor to our sink?
Well, first up, got to be my comedy wife, Jessie Nixon, who is just obviously brilliant and runs Smoke and Mirrors with me. Mark Olver is an absolutely wonderful human being and very, very funny. He's just fab, and he does loads of cool things, and in charity gigs he's a good egg to get in with.
Yeah, we've spoken about getting Mark on before. We just write the message, haven't we, really?
Yeah, or whatever. Like, I'm sure he would get on board. They both would. They're both BAs, and they both be really fun. So that's my two.
Marvellous. Thank you ever so much.
Oh, everybody give it up for Dani Johns.
Dani Johns, thank you, darling. Be safe, be fabulous, be you.
Thank you, babe. Bye.
Oh, isn't she amazing?
Oh, thank you, Dani. Yes,
we do this every single week. We're just like,
we love you.
I feel extra claim because she's from Bristol, she's Southwest, so I feel like I get extra claim on that. I get, when you have your Swansea mates on, I get it, but like she's part of my bit.
Yes. I think it's like a pen pal, like my friend from abroad, especially now bloody Mark Jacob is flipping, stoking the nationalistic ire, and we're like, we're Welsh,
I think it's brilliant the fact they removed the charge on the Severn Bridge and then said no one can use it.
Because it's Welsh, we're in Wales. I love the fact that Wales are absolutely storming the Six Nations this year. Have you seen?
Go Storm!
Are you watching the game on Saturday?
I mean, I have been moving home for the last couple of weeks. I got to be honest. Sport on a Saturday. I am.
Well, you sound Welsh.
Go. I mean, sport's the winner. Sport is the winner, really, on that one.
Yeah. Today's been fun, isn't it? So,
yes, it has. But I just want to ask everybody, if you do get a chance to go on jokepit.com and in the artist section, put the kitchen sink, you will find the ways to be able to donate to this live stream, because we do need to pay for the technology costs. So every penny does, I mean, I know we piss about and everything, but every penny you donate does go to technology costs. So thank you very much for those of you who've donated already. And please do follow us on Twitter. We are The Sink Girls, all one word, no spaces. And we are on Facebook. We are Tea Kitchen Sink, because some other prick took their kitchen sink. So we tried to play a little bit of a RuPaul tea on there. But please, 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 just remember, next week we have got coming up King of Hollywood, or Merthyr, whichever one he claims to be from that day. So we've got Steve Spears. You may know him from Star Wars, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Tuckers, Jonathan Creek, Afterlife 2. There are so many things he's done. And if you reckon you don't know him, have a look at the picture and go, oh, that's that guy from...
know him.
I know him. That's him.
I've seen loads of stuff. He's brilliant.
I know.
Can't believe he's got home for next week.
I know. And then after that, we have got the amazing Ursula Carlson as well, because nowadays we love a Netflix special. So we got Ursula. So we already reviewed her Overqualified Loser, and we absolutely adored it. And I can't believe she's coming on. She's actually one of the panelists from Masked Singer Australia. So she is big in the industry. And next week we will be doing the review of Bridget Christie, Stand Up For Her. So you know your homework, you know to get in touch with us, and please like, share and tell people about this show. So see you this time next week on Thursday at 7 p.m. Got anything to say, Bridgman?
No, you just said it all. Oh my God, you're so professional. You've come so far. I love you, Lucy. Well done. Bye, everyone. Thank you so... hang on, we got a comment before we go. Let's see what the comment is. Oh, Collins... Defo off on Saturday. And
I also had a message from my brother. It was really random. That said I got kicked out of Weight Watchers, and I realised it was from our chat from beforehand, because he went to Weight Watchers to lose weight, but because they thought he wasn't overweight enough, they thought he was taking the piss, and they hooked him out. So it was just like, no, because he used to be really, really, really sporty, and then he had an operation and put some weight on. So he wanted to go to Weight Watchers to lose the weight that he put on, and because he wasn't big, they were like, fuck off. That's lovely and welcoming, isn't it? On that note, but yes, please, everybody, be safe, be lovely. We need the viewers. Take care of yourselves and each other's. Bye, everybody.
Well, that was the kitchen sink. Did we make you laugh? Did we make you think? You can now go to the loo. You can treat yourself to that great big poo. And we will see you next week.